but we're going to do it in fast forward, if that makes any sense. Okay, so last time we talked about the Middle Ages. We talked about how the collapse of the Roman Empire. Hey, that was the Roman Empire, and then it turned into that. And then we talked about how there's 1,000 years of Christian music that we have written down using neumes, which is the original notation. And then we listened to a Kyrie, and it sounded approximately like this. And that's an example of plain chant. And then we took a look at this book, and we realized that had gold foil, and that was really cool. And then JJ was really surprised that the book was really big. And like really big, like 5 feet wide. And then we talked about Hildegard von Bingen. Starting off strong with a female composer. We got to listen to Ordo Virtutum, which is Order of Virtues, which is an example of, well, we're not going to listen to the whole thing altogether, but also an example of plain chant. And then we started to check out Notre Dame. Notre Dame. And we looked at some of the architecture. We realized that it's really big and it has flying buttresses, and everyone had a good laugh about that. And we checked out all the big vaulted ceilings. By the way, guys, like Notre Dame, that's a serious building. And then we talked about the choir lofts, and there's like 13 choir lofts in Notre Dame. And lots of composers used that. And so they end up creating something called polyphony, meaning that you could have one choir sing one thing and another choir sing another thing. And that's really cool, because then you could have like groups singing stuff together. So here's an example of the polyphony. By the way, poly meaning multiple, phony meaning sounds, so multiple sounds. And the way they originally did it is they would have, they would be singing the words really slowly. And so someone would like go, oh, and they would sing like the first word super slowly, and the other person would canter on top. And what cantering means is like changing notes and singing melismatically up and down, like lots of notes. And so this is an example of that. And it's, here we go. By the way, they're on the word Alleluia right now. They're on A. I know, we lost our hype man. Taya, can you be our hype lady? You can, Taya, turn on your microphone. You're eating food? Fine, Sydney. Sydney, you can be our hype lady. Sydney, turn on your microphone. Now, for those who are keeping track, yeah, there we go. You're taking a test? No, we're doing class time right now.
I thought I was about to eat breakfast, but okay.
Oh, you're eating breakfast. Got it.
No, not yet. I was going to.
Oh, well, just try not to smack your lips too much. Now, for those keeping track of the lyric that we're on ooh. Oh, there's the ah. So you can see how slowly these words are happening. And then they really start kicking in here, singing the same thing all together. Now, this was, of course, a composer named Leonin. We don't know his last name, and we were kind of making some jokes the last time. We don't really know a lot about Leonin. He wrote his name on the music, which is pretty good, which means that these were his ideas. He was a composer. Yeah, it sounds a lot like Halo. Halo has a lot of medieval influences. But we don't know when he was born and when he died, and we think he might have been French. He was taught by a composer named Anonymous IV, and he wrote a big book, which is what Magnus Liber is. We don't know a lot about Leonin. He's right on the edge of history, even though this is just like, I don't know, 1201, 800 years ago. But Leonin had a person that he worked with, and he was likely Periton was Leonin's student. So like Leonin being the teacher, and then Periton being the student underneath him. And I want you to check this out, because Periton's music, if you look at it really, really carefully over here, you can see that like way up top, I'm trying to figure out which direction I'm going in. Way up top over here, it's actually, you can see 3 staves together. So there's a top part, there's a middle part, and there's a bottom part. Okay. And the bottom part held the melody. Okay, if you look really carefully, there's an ah, there's a lay, there's a lu, ya. These are all like church words. And Sydney, do you know what the word for hold is?
In what?
Do you know what the word for hold is? It's an Italian word. I'm trying to see if you might be able to know it.
I don't know Italian.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Neri. You there, Neri? There you are. Do you know the Spanish word? Because I happen to know, like I know some of your family speak Spanish. Do you know the word to hold, to have, or to hold is in Spanish? Because it's similar to Italian.
No.
It's tener. So, and now I'm going to ask another person. Hey, Johnny. Hey, JJ. The bottom part holds the melody, which is tener in Spanish. Guess what it is in Italian? Because it has to do with your instrument.
It's tenor.
Tenor.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so the word tenor in Italian actually means to hold, and it holds that melody. So that's where the name of your instrument kind of comes from, right?
So
Is
hold of the melody.
It's holding the melody, and that that bottom line, like towards the bottom of the A.
I see it.
Teaching a class, you have to turn down. That's the tenor part, and then we have the alto part, which is above the tenor. Alto in Italian means tall or high. Okay, and then we have the soprano part up top. And this, we know a little bit more about Periton, by the way. He was born in the year 1200. We don't know when he died, but we know that he was Periton the Great, and he pioneered, meaning he invented this idea of having three parts all together. That was like the idea that we have music that's all stacked on top of one another is literally a person's idea, and we know that it was Periton. And that's pretty amazing to figure that out. We also know that he was French, kind of. We're pretty sure that he was French. So let's check out something that Periton wrote, and we're going to listen to Moors. And I'm very sorry, guys. This is going to get I don't know, just a little dark here, because the only word in the entire song is Moors, which happens to mean death. Okay, and if oftentimes living here in California, there's a lot of Spanish words around. Morir is to die, basically. So Moors in Italian is to death. So Periton, we're pretty sure that he wrote this, but I think he forgot to put his name on his work. So here we go. Here's an example of three parts. It's kind of cool. You can hear the three parts going. So one person's going the tenor part, the hold. You can hear it there behind. And then we have everybody else. We have two other parts jumping up and down. There we go. All right, guys. So that's our last example of, I don't think we need to check out Michaud here today, but that's like just a real quick finish up of where we were with the medieval period. So we just got medieval on you guys. Anyone remember what our next musical period is? Ooh, you can either put it in the chat box, or you can turn on your microphone. We had medieval, early music, and then came, and it starts with an R. Let's see if anyone knows. Let's see if anyone knows. Recent music? That's a good guess. It's a good guess. By the way, guys, if you click the pin on my camera, then you're going to be able to get this much larger. You're going to be able to see it. So click the pin on my box and you'll be able to see it a little bit better. All right, I'm going to stop recording here real quick.